Howdy folks, this is Trey again, and this is a continuation of the Mandolin Basics, and we're going to move on to 3-finger chords to kind of start building toward the chop chord. And it's something that I learned at a very young age, ever before I started taking the mandolin up serious, when I was probably 8 or 9, and just having a mandolin every once in a great while to just kind of noodle with, per se. Didn't really know how to play it, just kind of got the idea of the chords. And hopefully this will kind of help with strengthening our fingers to where we have that nice chop chord. But you're at this time, you're probably used to your 2-finger chords and having more of a guitar rhythm. But when we get into the 3-finger chords, this is where we're going to start adding this kind of a chop chord. And that's what we want to do. We want to slowly build up to the chop chord. So I'll see what we got and stay with us and get ready to learn. Okay. And we're going to start with the G chord. And it's going to be just like the 2-finger chord. You're going to put your middle finger on the 3rd fret on the high E string to have the G note. And then you take your pointer finger, as we did before with the 2 fingers, put it on the 2nd fret on the A string. And then we're going to get to where we put our ring finger on the 6th fret on the D, which is another G note. And as you go along and learn these chords, you'll learn that there will be two root notes in a chop chord. So here's the G chord, and we're going to want to slowly make this. You can hit that open G if you want. It's just another root string, just like this. And as you heard before, it's not as full as the 2-finger chord, but in bluegrass you don't want that. You're really just wanting this kind of a muffled drum snare sound. Now that you have the G, we're going to go on to C. And all you're going to do is you're going to take this, like you would in the 2 fingers, and move these up. Move these fingers up to the next string, which your 3rd finger, your ring finger, would be on the G string on the 6th fret. Your middle finger will be on the 3rd fret on the A. And then your index finger will be on the 2nd fret on the D string. And this one you ain't going to be able to hit all of the strings like you did in the 2-finger chord, because it kind of sounds a little weird, at least to me anyway. And you just want to hit the G, D, and the A string. Now that you got that, the D chord and the 3-finger chords are going to be a little bit different. Whereas the 2-finger chords, we did it down here on the 2nd fret. If you want, I'm going to show 2 different ways to do this. Well, it's technically a 4-finger chord, and it's kind of a stretch. But if you want to learn it this way, that's fine. You make the 2-finger chord with your G on the 2nd fret, or your index finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the E, but then you're going to take your two fingers here, your ring finger on the D string goes on the 4th fret, and then your pinky finger goes on the A string on the 6th fret. No, 5th fret. My mistake. And that's the 4-finger chord of it, but the 3-finger chord, and we'll come back to that 4-finger chord later on when we do other chords. But the 3-finger chord is basically the C position, only we move up 2 frets. Just take your C position and go 1, 2, and there's your D. And again, if you want, and that's your chop chord, basically for C and D, if you want to stick with the 3-finger chord shapes. Now for A, basically you're doing the same thing with the G position. You move it up 2 frets, 1, 2. But on this one, you're not going to be able to hit the G string. So you just want to start on your D string. And you do that. And then you go move that position up to your D, which would be the position for, the chord progression of A. And then you're going to go up 2 more frets, 1, 2, to E. And so that's there again. As I've probably said many times before, when you learn these chords, they're kind of like bar chords. Once you learn them, you kind of already know the mandolin. Now the C progression, we're going to do that real quick. You come down here to your C, and the very next chord, which is an F in the progression, and it's a 3-finger chord, and it pretty much stays a 3-finger chord whether it's a chop chord or not. For me, I've not found a 4-finger chord for this, but F, you're making half of the G chord. You put your index finger on your E on the 1st fret, leaving your A open. Your middle finger on the D string on the 3rd fret, and your ring finger on the 5th fret, on the G string, and that's your F chord. And when you're chopping with this chord, you might want to kind of deaden that A string a little bit with your pinky. And that's pretty much all the 3-finger chords. Because once you learn one, they kind of are used throughout the whole fretboard. A little trick that I've learned, if you get confused on where you're at, go back to your 2-finger chords and start learning how to bar them, which is like this, and use your ring and your pinky, and kind of, like I said, if you want to know where the A chord is, but you don't know where D is, well, bar it, and take your ring and your pinky, if you're able to, and strum that. Look where these two are, and then look where your ring finger and your pinky finger is, and then take your middle finger and your ring finger and put it there, and then add your 3rd finger to that, and there you have your D chord. Same with your E, or even if you want to know where A is in the G position, you just take your finger, bar it, and then take your two fingers, put it there, and add your fingers. That's a little trick I learned when I was learning the chords, and it was very helpful in locating where the chords were, and learning all about the fretboard and what notes are there. Which learning what notes are on the fretboard will come in handy later on. So that's just a little tip for you. Alright guys, if you enjoyed learning about the three-finger chords on the basics on the mandolin, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and give a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And just really do appreciate y'all leaving comments. I try to read them as much as I can. Been kind of slow here lately, but really do appreciate y'all leaving the comments. So until next time, we'll see y'all later.